Today we're going to answer the question, can you actually do keto and intermittent fasting if you have a gallstone? The first question is, what is a gallstone made of? Now there are several different types of gallstones, but the most common is the cholesterol gallstone. But all of them have several ingredients in common. They contain some cholesterol, they contain some bilirubin, which is a pigment as a byproduct from the red blood cell. They have phosphates and calcium carbonate. Okay, so that's what makes up a gallstone. So the next question is, what actually causes a gallstone? So it's a combination of mainly two things, but there's some other things, but mainly it's two things. Too much cholesterol with too little bile. When you don't have enough bile, you get this super saturation of cholesterol and it can form into a stone, especially if there's congestion within the gallbladder and maybe the gallbladder is not contracting properly or something is blocking it or you have sludge in there. That's what basically creates a stone. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my video, click the red button down below, somewhere down on this side over here, and that little bell icon, which allows you to get notifications. This way you can also find out when I do my live Q&A each week. So the most important thing you need to know about this video is that the composition of a gallstone is not the same thing as bile. Bile is made in the liver up here, okay, liver, and it drains down through a little tube and it goes into the gallbladder, which is just a sac. And the purpose of the sac is to concentrate bile salts. So in the gallbladder, you have this really concentrated solution of bile salts, like 20 times concentrated. This bile salt that's super concentrated is not the same consistency as what's in a gallstone. So sometimes people think that a gallstone is really concentrated bile. A gallstone is created with a deficiency of bile and at the same time, too much cholesterol. So the majority of a gallstone is made out of cholesterol simply because there's not enough bile there. So this is important because when you do fasting, you're going to be concentrating the bile even more, and that is not going to trigger a gallstone. So fasting does not cause gallstones at all. Now, the next thing you need to know is what else can cause a super saturated amount of cholesterol. And that is a situation where the gallbladder is not contracting anymore. It's not releasing its bile. So it just sits there and there's cholesterol that comes in there and it forms stones. So if you're not triggering the gallbladder to release its contents over a long period of time, that could potentially cause a gallstone. So now the question is, what actually triggers the release of this bile from the gallbladder? What causes it to contract? Well, guess what? Saturated fats. It's saturated fats. Well, guess what a ketogenic diet is? It's a high-fat diet. It's a low-carb, high-fat. So when you do keto, you're going to be releasing a lot of this bile on a regular basis. If you add intermittent fasting, you're going to concentrate the bile. So these two things right here, keto and IF, done healthily, actually decrease the risk of gallstones. What increases the risk of gallstones is a low-fat diet. Why? Because there's not enough fat to trigger the release of bile to dissolve the stone, to keep it from saturating. A couple other things you need to know. High estrogen, especially when a woman is pregnant, for example, or on birth control pills or hormone replacement therapy, can also trigger gallstones. Also, high insulin, as in diabetics, especially type 2, can also increase the risk of gallstones. And guess what keto is? It's the opposite of this. You're normalizing insulin, you're lowering it, so you're going to improve the situation. And the other thing that you need to know is a common treatment for gallstones is taking purified bile salts, okay? So really, gallstones are coming from too little bile, not too much. All right, thanks for watching. Hey, before you leave, I just wanted to give you a little quick history on some of the books that I wrote. This was one of the first books. It's called Dr. Berg Body Shapes. It was my attempt at writing about body types. What was very interesting about this book is I actually did all the images myself. Don't ask me why. They look actually not quite as professional as some of the images that I have in the new book. But anyway, this is my first attempt right here called Dr. Berg's Body Shape Diets. And then I wrote a book more extensive called The 7 Principles of Fat Burning. I don't even have a copy anymore, actually, because it's outdated. The next book, I put about 1,000 hours into this one right here called The New Body Type Guide. Major updates on the body types. I put a lot of energy into this. It has professional images, graphics, all sorts of things. Now, the problem with this book is it doesn't really describe what this is really about. Body types are only a small portion of what's in this book. And that's why I changed the name to the Healthy Keto Plan, okay? If you happen to have this book, you don't really need this book because there's only very, very minor updates. But if you don't have this, you need to get this one right here. This book goes into every single detail that you would ever want to know about. It goes into the 7 principles of fat burning. It goes into hormones, the body types, the basic keto plan. It goes into intermittent fasting. I talk about the 10 fat burning triggers and blockers and fat burning strategies with a lot of details in every single chapter. I go into body issues that interfere with losing weight. There's very few people that just have a weight problem. They have a lot of body issues, whether it's sleeping problems, stress problems, inflammation, menopause. I cover that extensively in this book. Then I talk about how to get rid of stress, and I show you a technique. Then I get into exercising. And then I have a lot of really good recipes in this book as well. So this is a good reference guide. On my website, if you get this book, you get this one free. It's called Healthy Keto Intermittent Fasting. This is the shortcut, quick guide to this book. And the reason I created this book is to have you, within 45 minutes, learn how to do keto, okay, in intermittent fasting, exactly what you need to do. Then you can fill in the blanks with this book right here. So right now I'm doing a special. If you get this book, you get this one totally free, or you can go to Amazon and get these individually. So I just want to clarify the difference between this book and this updated one right here. If you don't have this, you need to get this right here. That way you can get the exact correct information to do it healthily.